I'm not going to ramble on anymore. Well, one of the things I mentioned earlier was that there's this core group of outdoor industry. You know, we've been here for 30 plus years, and then there's a swirling group of brands and retailers and outfitters and guides and the whole ecosystem of the outdoor industry that happens around that. And one of the quieter but kind of huge movements is around cycling, right? And so I wanted to introduce the folks from QBP. Some of you know them, Quality Bicycle Parts. They used to be known as. They're based in another very cold place right now, Minnesota, Minneapolis. And so Kim, Marek, and Katie Thompson are going to come up and talk to you. Just as a note, they won't admit it, but Kim has just been recognized as a Skip Yowell, not the Alliance.
Leadership Academy.
Thank you, the Leadership Academy recipient or what is it?
Honorary.
Yeah, participant, scholar, I suppose. So, all right, I'm done. Katie, and Jim.
Great presentation. Woo.
Hello.
Oh, I got this.
You got it?
Oh. I don't know about anyone else, but it is warm in this room, huh? As Kenji said, I'm Kim Marek. I'm from Quality Bicycle Products, and I am a vendor sales manager as well as the QBP Community Grant Director.
Awesome. And I'm Katie Thompson, and I manage our product design and research department with QBP. So starting things off, I think first for me, I met Kenji last year here at OR, and we're really, in the beginnings of where we are today, and really asking that question, coming to this event, knowing cycling has kind of always been on the periphery of the outdoor industry, and there hasn't been a lot of collaboration. And for me in design, I was really asking the question of why? Why are we not working together? Why are we not collaborating? And so, one thing for me is tremendously humbling to be in this room and to look at so many of the brands that we look up to and that I look up to and the work that you guys have done. So we're going to talk a little bit about who QBP is, where we're going, what we're doing next. To start things off, one of the number one questions I always answer when I'm at OR is, who the heck is QBP? So QBP, Quality Bicycle Products. We started as a distributor about 38 years ago, and really to bring in sought-after parts from Japan into the mountain bike market in the US. From there, about 20 years ago, we started designing and developing our own product. Flash forward to today, we are the largest bicycle distributor to the independent retailer in the US, and we design and develop for 12 different brands. Salsa, Surly, All City, a handful of those. So to kick things off, one of the big things I want to start with, we are a values-driven company at our ethos of who we are. We are values before business many times. And that really starts with our strategic anchors. So I'm not going to talk through all of these, but really it sums up for us, these 5 things, really what it means is being an extraordinary business. And that's by serving our partners, our employees, our communities. We believe in being good stewards for the environment, advancing bike kind, and have a strong cultural, organizational health, all on a solid ethical and financial foundation. Really what that means to me as a designer is we're not here just to put products in the world. We're here to really advance what cycling is, advance who our retailers are, and our reach is way beyond just the consumer and our own employees. We're looking to elevate our retailers as well, and just how goods are sold and moved. So with that, we're going to talk a little bit about our journey. So like I said, I was here last year, and we were really, trying to collaborate and work with other businesses and understand where people are at, where do we need to go, where are some of the things we need to be thinking about. Our journey in DEI work, it's been 38 years in the making. There has been a million ad hoc initiatives that have been worked on. There's a lot of small or smaller actions that we have done. We really gone through this, period of learning, I'd like to say, over the last 5 years of time and understanding where we need to go next. We started with women and really focusing on growing women in cycling over the last 5 years. And as we step into the next frontier for us, we realized that, we need to we really reevaluated and wanted to commit ourselves to inclusion broadly. This isn't an initiative to us. This is a step forward that we will be doing for the next 20, 30 years of our work. And so today, we're going to speak to a little bit of that renewed direction, what that means for us, and where we're going next.
My involvement in the outdoor industry is very small. I've only been in the bike industry for about 3 years, and I've definitely learned a lot. My first kind of huge introduction was Interbike, and I don't know if anyone has been there, but it is definitely a shocking realization at the lack of diversity that is in cycling. So I think there is obviously a huge opportunity, and one of the reasons why Katie and I make it a point to come to OR is to join in on the conversations and partner with the excellent brands that are out here doing amazing work. And we have a lot we can learn in the bike industry. Specifically to QBP, a few things that we've had in the works, which we don't necessarily talk about as much, but you will see us talking about more, is a number of things on the screen. I'm only going to touch on a few of them. The first one being the Women's Bike Mechanics Scholarship. It's an incredible scholarship that we've had for 6 years. It started in 2014 with only 2 students, and they attend a week-long training course that's designed to get them professional repair and shop operational skills. Over the course of those 6 years, we've now had 100 women go through the program. Every year we get about 300 to 500 applicants. It's an incredible program that last year we just started having 2 classes, and you'll continue to see that. One thing that I run is the QBP Community Grant, and that was founded out of a realization that we can go into these communities and tell them what we think they should be doing, but the reality is they know what needs work in their communities. So it's a grant that our suppliers contribute funds to, in which these retailers can apply to support projects within their community. A couple other ones that we've been working on are Little Bellas. They're a local mountain bike group that gets young women riding, and it's been phenomenal in Salsa. As of this year, we'll be doing a further and deeper partnership with them. And then we're also super excited to become members of OA and Camber as of this year. It's super important, and again, we want to be at the conversation. I think the cycling industry needs to have a bigger part in that, so we're super stoked to be joining that. And then the last one is Q Connect. We think there's a huge need within our own company to grow communities and kind of collaborate together and make people feel welcome. I mean, it starts internally as much as it is externally, and we could do a better job of that and have a lot to learn. So we'll be launching that in March. This is just a photo of last year's Women's Bike Mechanics Scholarship class. Super amazing group of individuals. They're still in the bike industry. They're doing incredible things. They're being employed by companies in the bike industry. Phenomenal individuals. This is our last year's Equity and Diversity internship. This is our 4th year of having this internship. We started out as a women's with an asterisk internship, and then last year changed the focus to be broader and include equity and diversity. These interns are so much fun. They come from all over the US. We had one from Florida, which was awesome having her in Minnesota because such a difference. But they're amazing, and this will be our 4th year. We're going to have 12 interns this year, and we're super excited. And then this is just an example of one of the 6 recipients from our community grant. We were able to raise $36,500 last year. This year, I'm excited to say we have raised $50,000, so that means more grants, more projects being funded. And then just a little bit about our internal journey. So we kind of had this internal swirl, I'll just be honest, in saying that it's not an easy nut to crack about how we go about diversity, equity, and inclusion. We started with women, as Katie alluded to, and spun our wheels a bit on it. And so we kind of came to the realization that we have to go broader. We have to go beyond just women. So we've kind of taken along the lines of calling this commitment to inclusion. Kind of one of the words that we've thrown around is initiative, and we really don't like that word because when we think about initiative, we think that there's a start and an end, and this work is ongoing. There is no start and end. It's continual and it's ever changing. And even though we think we've done X, Y, and Z, there's always going to be something more we can be doing. So we've kind of chosen to go with commitment to inclusion, and our mission statement is going to be cultivate a better bike industry by leading and influencing the way in creating a diverse, equitable, and inclusive culture. Still in the works, so that might be tweaked a little. But as I stated, the next steps are going to be we need internal training. If we're going to be asking people to talk about this and understand this, we have to train our own people. They have to know terminology, they have to understand why this is important, we have to have their buy-in, and we have to meet them where they're at. We can't just expect them to understand. So that's something that we're going to be working on, and we also realize we're not experts. So we're going to hire some outside sources to kind of bring them in and train us up and then continually keep this momentum going. As I showed in the previous slide, we have some intentional external events. We're going to continue to develop and grow that. The internship is an example where we took it from women's to now equity and diversity. In 2020, we're going to do a revamp of our website, and in that, we're going to start talking about what we're doing and why it's important. We're going to develop some internal language and communication guides so that we have a staff that feels equipped in understanding what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. And we're also going to work to partner with the bike industry. I think one thing I really appreciate about the outdoor industry is your collaboration. I was blown away when I came to the summer show and how everyone was at the table talking and working together. And I feel, again, I'm sort of new to the bike industry, but I feel we work in silos where we don't want to show our cards and we really kind of keep everything close. And I think that's a miss. So we're going to start having conversations with the big players, Giant, Specialized, SRAM, and we're going to have our own kind of bike community getting developed and growing so that we can talk about problems that we're facing and how we can tackle them together, because this is not something to be done alone, it's to be done in the community.
So Kim spoke to this a little bit too, but this has been a really humbling experience for many of us doing this work inside our walls. There's a tremendous amount of lesson learned, right? I think one of the big things for us is really that creating that environment that we're leaning towards learning, because we will make mistakes. We have made mistakes publicly, internally, and this work is messy, and I think that's something that we as a company, we're committed to being transparent about that. We know that this work is hard, and we're committed to saying, hey, we're gonna lean towards learning in this, and we're in this together to continue growing. One of the things that a lot of people hear me talk about when I talk about design really is empathy is a grounding foundation for us, and that's just not how we develop products. It's not how we develop our business. It's also how we are going to be approaching doing DEI work. We have to meet everyone where they're at. That's inside our building, that's outside of this building. We have to really, truly understand in order to make steps forward. And, that's a continual reminder for me as well. And just making sure that, we are being empathetic on all levels to really push forward where we want to go. It's about building communities, asking questions, and moving away from the use of initiative. You've probably heard us, we've said this a handful of times, this is a big thing for us because largely we've been talking about DEI work as initiatives inside our building. And to me, that signal of the change for us is saying this isn't something that we're just going to measure, KPIs on in the next year, in the next 2 years. This is a commitment to the lifelong hood of our business, and then continually learning through that progress. So with that, thank you guys.
I don't know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I finally got it figured out there. It's Skip Yowell Leadership Academy. It's Kim, Marek, and Katie Thompson. So.